10 seconds. And to do that, it's going to be Henry G in the machine.
All right then, ladies and gentlemen, here we go then. Best of 3, Liquid versus Astralis. We'll check in to see how this one's going to break down. It's going to be pistol round to kick things off. We're into the action straight away here. It's going to be a CT start for Astralis. And as you expect, Alex, all the utility you could ever want. Double HEs, smokes, and we'll get straight into the action here. It's going to be Liquid with quite an aggressive approach with 5 players actually busting up towards middle right now. We have seen 4-man stacks from Astralis towards A, but not getting out this time.
Oh, this is going to be a quick one from Liquid. Dupree, the first to be pressured. Magisk. Oh, he was so patient and he's been punished. Stewie and Naf into the site. I need to clear my throat, and Astralis, they need to clear this site.
Well then, 5 on 3 was a very quick approach here from Liquid, and the bomb has been planted. We can see the retake beginning at this point. No kit spotted. They did have the HEs available, but no real damage inflicted here whatsoever. With the bomb getting to the halfway point as well, what is the plan here? Glaive holding towards the apartments. Looks like they might be out of luck. They might just have to hold on to what they've got here. A very tentative approach here.
We've seen this a couple of times. In fact, you know, just the pre-firing. They come straight around the corner on short, 2 bullets towards the pit player, and after that, you're always going to have the man advantage in those fights into the site, unless, of course, a stack has been taken. And likely in the pistol, we see Glaive getting hunted down, Stewie off to a flying start, and that actually is going to be a conversation throughout Inferno here, Henry, is Stewie's momentum, because he has been struggling towards the tail end of 2019.
Sure.
Not only just statistically, but you can see that his role that he often plays within the team has not been working out, not been paying dividends in the same way it used to.
It seems like the roles are a little bit of a question mark within Liquid right now. We're seeing Naf like most of the time at this point. Not to say he's doing a bad job by any stretch of the imagination, but it was always Nitro for the last year or so. Stewie, it seems like he needs to define himself a little bit more. He certainly isn't looking a world-class player at all times. He still is definitely up there, but we're not seeing the absolute best out of him every single game, and I think he knows it as well. But either way, we are going to get into a very successful pistol round from Liquid there, and a force buy, of course, from Astralis in response. Deagles across the board. They've got the smokes required to hold off Team Liquid as long as possible, and Astralis will have 3 players towards B at this stage. There's the grenades being exchanged right now. They're landing very effectively indeed. Stewie 2K down to 11 points of health. Elige 62 as well, and there's the kill through the smoke, of course. Finding Elige, that's Magisk.
That is gonna sting. Stewie, he was the one that caught the brunt of that utility damage as well, so still hard work from Astralis can pay off. Naf realizing he wants to try and get that rifle out of play, for now keeping it available. But Astralis, so deadly, not only on this map, but I will remind you, and something that often is discussed, the power of smoke grenades, Henry, and at the 60-second mark, that's a liquid smoke going down. 4 still available to the Danes.
That's such a good point. They have 4 smokes available. You're going to have to go through a wall of smoke eventually, and it looks like they'll finish up towards B. So it's Magisk. He'll be there. He actually currently has no smoke available. Zipex is with him, though, and he certainly does. He's got the smoke and the flashbang towards the CT side, and he can drop that at the 30-second mark by the look of things. So you can see him just sat there, ready and waiting to go. As soon as he deploys that, that throws a spanner in the works. He needs to get that down right now. He knows it. Flashbang will come through as well. They're going to have to bust through this, and here comes the flash. Damage being inflicted, but they have managed to get through the smoke at least without taking any casualties.
They have to pre-fire this boost. Glaive just gets pushed off it. 1 bullet to his toes, but time's still a factor. 18 seconds as Magisk continues to do all the hard work alongside Glaive and Device. The Deagles from Astralis. It's so perfect. Not a single person going down. They can't. He can't find a single frag, and Astralis make that second round hold so damn good. They come into the next round with a free weapon for every member of their squad.
They entered with 5 Desert Eagles. They've now left with 2 AK-47s, a Galil, a Krieg, a UMP. They found every single weapon there, Alex. That's kind of insane. You don't see a much better round than that with Desert Eagles. Unbelievable scenes here. Picture perfect. Textbook from Astralis. They play like a normal gun round, deploy the grenades, kill through the smoke. They run that clock down, which is so perfect here on Inferno, and then the Zipex smoke, of course. It just makes it makes panic ensue straight away. As soon as you see 35 seconds in, the smoke drops down towards B. You got 4 players outside. You can't wait anymore. You're gonna have to go through, and it's awkward. It's stifling. As we'll see a force buy in response here from Liquid. They've got Deagles themselves, 4 of those, a CZ for Nitro. But the problem is they don't really have any utility to speak of. So how do they reflect that? How do they bring the same sort of approach to the table when they can't actually segregate the CTs here? They can't flush them out with Molotovs.
Raw aim, that's all I've got for you. Let's see. And at the moment, it's not going to get them far. Suppressing fire from Dupree completely safely does chip away at Elige. Similar story for Glaive as he swings in, trying to bait his opponents into that, who is it, Device in the corner.
Problem is as well, 3 players without helmets. That UMP is going to be very effective. Same story for the Galil. And Zipex open things up. But there's that raw aim you were talking about, but Liege only good for one at this stage. Bomb down towards second middle, just to know that. So don't really commit off this one, but here come the shots. It is actually going to be a 2 versus 2 now. Remember, the bomb down. Glaive holding towards middle. 1 HP to his name.
Twist and Nitro not much healthier. And so a complete role reversal as the dust settles. We've got ourselves an interesting mid-round here. The bomb does need to be retrieved, and it looks like Twist is making that his job. Glaive has an opportunity. If he continues to be vigilant on middle, Twist can come behind him, and that does look like it's going to be the case. Bomb retrieved, but he doesn't continue his investigations. Nitro so low.
Oh my goodness.
This is so funky. 20 seconds. 1 HP, I will remind you. Glaive, really, you could do anything to him. Nitro, 1 bullet from the UMP, but he gets the timing. Unbelievable. 10 seconds. The Twist just walked straight into Zipex.
Dude.
And Astralis. Oh, it's not only the nades, the teamwork, the aim, and all of that hard work. It's also a little bit of luck. Glaive, just as he comes around the corner, Nitro swiping his mouse to the other side.
The second he
Oh,
looks away, that's when he decides to peek. That's so wild.
so naughty.
It was so well played as well. They knew exactly what Glaive was going to do, but as soon as he walks around the corner, that's when he turns his back. A very decent effort there from Liquid, but no bomb planted, round not gathered, and Glaive shutting it down with 1 point of health. Has to be the full eco now from the North Americans. That's PD50s and Glocks, not much else, as we'll look to see a 3-1 come through very shortly indeed. This should be quite a clean round as well, so a chance to build up some cash. Speaking of which, Dupree, he's found $1,200 there in the apartments. Nitro and Twist removed by the MP9. They're making light work of this round, as expected.
Yeah, quick one. Just going to be Naf. Maybe, just maybe, forcing a rebuy if he can connect the Glock bullets, but not enough in unison. And 3 for Dupree, so that's going to be a lovely 1,800 injection into his bank account. What a turnaround to start things off. Liquid, it was a great pistol. So coordinated, just charging up short, get yourself that first round on the board. Astralis, you know, within the first 20 seconds, had to kind of accept that the pistol round wasn't theirs, but the second round force has shifted momentum immediately. Time to see what the rifles can do, though, back in the North Americans' hands.
Yeah, absolutely. 5 AK-47s, not a Krieg to be seen, focusing more on the utility side of the game. It's going to be Liquid running a deep open now. 2 players at the bottom of Banana trying to avoid the nade damage they know is going to be coming in at some point. In terms of Astralis' HE situation, we have got Glaive joining Zipex once again. He's only got the smoke remaining, but he is going to be a little bit aggressive there with the AK-47. Zipex with a smoke as well, so holding on to the most valuable parts of the kit there, as it will be Liquid transitioning now from the B side of the map towards A. With no one towards Banana whatsoever, I would say they're going to commit off this in the next 15 seconds or so. It's going to be difficult to reclaim territory on that side of the map, but still they decide to do so. High-risk maneuver, especially with Glaive there with the AK. We are going to see a smoke towards Harford, allowing Glaive to stay in position for now and hopefully funnel them to the other side of the map. Stewie and Liege waiting patiently. They drop a Molotov, but they can't push that smoke. They have no idea what's on the other side.
Yeah, and if they did, they probably wouldn't want to push because it's Glaive pushing forward aggressively and connecting through the smoke, but damage done. 17 points of health for 2 members of Liquid, and actually Zipex catching a full health Naf. So much dumb. And completely safely as well. He can actually rotate now towards Coffins, looking for more damage, and now Nitro cut down to 44. Bomb will go down safely, though, uncontested. The rotate going to be a 2-1 split. And Nitro lucky to be alive. The shot through the smoke from Device, making this retake so doable. Dupree changed his mind. He had an option to go Banana, but he'll rejoin for a 3-man assault.
Yeah, power and numbers here, and it's a very powerful incendiary. That's going to flush out Nitro. How did he not take a single tick of damage at that point? 2 HP, avoids the bullets and the flames here, but there's a gap in the smoke. It's going to be Device spotting that one out as it's Mages will eventually get Nitro running back into the flames, it seems. And now the bomb ticking at some pace. They need to make that move at this point as Twist. He'll continue his assault from the Banana position, and Device left in a 1 versus 1. He doesn't have the information as to where Elige's position, and they've just about scraped this round together. Wasn't the prettiest. They had to make some difficult decisions there as well, especially going through the smoke once again, this time trading out the kills, getting the bomb down, and somehow surviving on about 2 HP between 2 players.
Yeah, but that was so hard. Twist realized he was the only one with health.
Yeah.
You could see he was tucked in on that wall with his crosshair set to stop the diffuser, but I think he realized that Astralis had gathered too much ground too quickly. He wasn't going to be able to stop the defense of that diffuse, and so he realizes he has to challenge. We'll get to see it in a second in this replay here. He has to take that fight. Not only does he get 1, he takes the second, and that's enough to keep Device just on a leash. So Elige's low HP didn't come back to haunt him. What a round for Liquid, admittedly though, chaotic, and it wasn't the prettiest.
Yeah, certainly a laboured round, and that's reflected on the buy going forward as well. Liquid certainly have weaponry, but a MAC-10, a UMP there. Good news is they two players of our helmets could actually help them out. That's going to be Dupree and Glaive, so look out for that. The MAC-10 in the hands of Naf. He's currently positioned towards the bottom of the middle with the bomb on his back. Nitro with the SMG is also in the apartments here. He's trying to keep things close range if possible. Device brings out the AWP for the first time, holding towards top of mid. Very standard position. Looking for that first pick. Fall back, get a more defensive line. All quiet for now. Glaive just pixel peeking with the incendiary in hand. As soon as he spots one, going to buy himself some time. Got Zipex behind him with the utility. Doesn't feel comfortable. Drops the incendiary now. Just hit the 1 minute mark as well. Glaive still has his smoke as well. Zipex with nothing. So maybe a boost coming into order here.
You can hold a really, really brutal headshot line from the second orange boost. That's exactly what Zipex is holding. It's a little further across, so hopefully you have someone else for the initial contact. But if it is the first, it's a real one and done. Powerful. 30 seconds. Looks like another B finish.
With Twist trying to show some A presence by the looks of things. He's alone towards the apartments right now. The bomb's down bottom of the middle. So they could be maybe just straight up faking at this point, but the bomb's not there. So they've lost Stewie 2K. So what's the plan now? Yes, recover the bomb. That was their chance to try and shift players over. They have got 3 CTs towards B, and they're going to have to get their skates on here, Alex. 10 seconds remaining as they come up towards quad.
Dupree can destabilize the flash. Not the kill, though, and so Magisk. 6 seconds. He just has to stop it, and he has. He's won the round for his team, I think.
Yep,
yeah,
yes.
2 seconds, no time. And Liquid, they're trying to use that clock, trying to get Astralis' rotates caught off guard, but still, 1 frag was all they needed. Perhaps an extra 10 seconds added to that fake and all those smoke and mirrors, that would have been enough to stabilize and get the plant in.
It wasn't the worst approach at all. Like, it was pretty convincing. You saw from the B bomb side point of view, there was smokes flying over, 3 players spotted from the CTs. It looked like that was a final commitment with 20 seconds on the clock as well, but a very technical strategy here. If you lose 1 player and the exchange going back towards A, it is going to fall apart exactly like it did. To be fair, Majors had a bit too much space to work with. The fact he could swing around in that manner and actually take the bomb down doesn't look like Liquid were necessarily calm in that situation, understandably so. As we get into round number 7, we are going to have another force buy from them. It's going to be AKs, M4s, saved from the previous round, of course, and a couple of CZs. Nitro and Stewie to wield those. His Device looking confident now, but that will cost him his life. Twist waiting towards the end of the pass, finds him with the AK, but can they recover that orb?
Yeah, that is a huge scalp to take early into the piece. Magisk actually willing to take a fight as well. Wow. 2 frags in favor of Liquid here. They don't want to let it slip away. Unleash nearly fed it to him. Switching, caught with a nade in his hand, down to 7, but his heart still beating and mind starting to quicken its pace because Astralis, with 3 members left, have left the B site relatively unmanned. Zipnik's given that responsibility, but he's going to be playing passive towards the construction side of things.
He has an HE and a flash. Not really ideal. Glaive will join him, though. He's got the smoke. If they get that smoke down now, they're in a great position here. Oh, so much damage inflicted, and the cross will come through. Glaive on for a couple of frags here, but the vision denied at this point. He's gone down to 19 points of health himself. Looks like Liquid are going to be comfortable at this stage of Elige patrolling the bottom and middle as well. Glaive and Dupree might want to save at this point. They've recovered the AWP. Just going to fall back. It was a decent effort there, to be fair. Zipex does a lot of damage. Glaive manages to get 1 as well, but power and numbers there. Liquid run over the B-bomb side, no problem.
You know, I think you've hammered it into me so much for so many years, Henry, that I'm actually starting to truly understand the nuances of Counter-Strike.
Okay, go on.
Device going down early meant that the CTs had to regain some control.
Of course, you saw Magisk.
And so I saw Magisk immediately try and react on bounce. I'm learning!
It's all coming together.
It only took me bloody 10 years. I'm slowly getting it.
That is basically the whole game in a nutshell. If you've lost the advantage or it's gone askew somewhere, you need to reclaim territory, bring something back in your favor to apply pressure to the other team. Sure, it didn't work out for Majors there, but that was the correct maneuver.
Like I was trying to find the justification for his push, and I found it.
Yeah, so they didn't feel comfortable. They knew they could lose middle at any stage, and then it could be pincered, and they wouldn't be able to handle it. They would spread too thin. That's why we always say, this is a prime example, when it goes down to a 4-on-4, that's why it favors the terrorists, because the CTs are the ones that have to react and spread their man across, and they can't actually have multiple players in multiple locations. So they need to push, they need to get information, especially when you've lost the advantage completely. It's not even an equal situation. It's going to be a 5-on-4. Someone has to step up, and that's what Majors was trying to do there.
And Astralis stepping up the strats, double AWP into the 8th round of play. It's going to be Glaive on the secondary. He's going to take that as part of his parcel towards B. Some utility thrown early by Dupree. He'll then rotate back towards the A site so that there is full set for the defense for the remaining 2. deep Molotov, and that's going to keep Stewie at bay. You can see he's been licked down just a little bit to 90, and will respect it, falling back now towards middle. So no early presence in Banana for the Liquid boys.
Double orb setup. We are seeing Glaive pick up the sniper more and more these days, especially on Inferno. Happy to hold it like a turret. Just in front of the half wall here, Zipex behind him. Just Stewie 2K that's alone towards B for now. The bomb, 3 other players holding towards middle. Twist as usual, working the apartments. Stewie's getting some backup now. It's going to be a Liege. They still have 4 smokes. 1 minute on the clock. Zipex has now left Glaive alone here.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. And after getting the info and firing off the first shot, he chooses to fall back, holding the second line.
At this stage, Stewie just baiting the fact that someone is there at B. They can't flash over, they can't push, especially with the open hand as well, so Zipex will have to stay there and babysit Glaive. Device missing a shot there. Difficult one, just a shoulder peek from the top of middle, but that's going to get into maxes now for Team Liquid. They could go for CT Spawn with Stewie still a Banana. That could be an option for them, but he's deciding to fall back here. 20 seconds remaining. They have to commit towards A now. Presumably towards quad. We know Magisk is always in that pit position. Very strong there. Usually Molotov. He's sitting on the bike for now. Yeah. And this is going to be the final commitment. Yeah, and there's no real question as to which side they're coming into. Glaive did the investigations, good spray, but with 8 seconds left, Liquid need to find Device. He's still hiding, he's still hitting shots. Nitro desperately trying to keep them safe, but there's just no time. The bomb is loose unless they find the frags. It's another Astralis round. Looking for survival though, Device hunts them down, another body drops. Nitro is eliminated as the 5th is secured for the Danes. So Nitro gets no cash there, Naf gets no cash, but he does save the AK-47 at least, but still, that's the 2nd time now. They've run out of time in that sort of manner. It looks good, there's an idea, but they just haven't given themselves enough time. It seems like they finally commit with 15 seconds on the clock, lose a couple of frags, the bomb gets loose, and then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose, and we'll see ourselves into a force buy situation once again, this time with 1 Galil, 3 pistols, an AK-47. I expect something much faster pace this time, and that might be the cue to do so. Galil versus Orb, but actually Glaive brave, leaping across, retrieving the Orb. He could get caught up here. He gets slowed down by the Molotov, I believe. Wow. That's unfortunate. Great restabilization, though. The CTs can chill. Smoke especially arriving just in the nick of time towards Zaps. That's going to buy a little bit more time for them to catch their breaths, and you can see Glaive's trying to even get that up away from the T. It's not quite going to work out. In fact, it's starting to spiral. Stewie, 2nd frag with this Galil, making 1800 look like a wise investment. The site is theirs, and finally Liquid have found a way into the site, and with, you'll never believe it, time remaining, Henry. They said, you know what, we keep running out of time here walking around. Let's just run at them. Let's just see what can be done. Another challenge towards middle. Astralis actually using that battle pretty consistently. It was Device going down early once again. Nice moves from Glaive to recover the AWP and actually get away with that one. Took some aggro from the quad player as well, but overall Team Liquid saw that advantage, their opportunity to get up towards quad and apartment, and managed to get the bomb down this time and keep 4 players alive as well. So that force by paying dividends there, as it'll be Glaive and Magisk to save the little they have. Glaive has to have an AWP, but Magisk just the MP9. And though the score after this round will be, 5-4, a single round separating them, it is worth mentioning we've not seen Liquid string 2 rounds together yet. Therefore, we keep talking about these FAMASs, Galil, CZs. These guys really need, and I can't believe I'm saying this, especially in Counter-Strike in 2019, the Ts need to stabilize their money. Like, they still haven't been able to actually present a full buy for what feels like one of the few games we've seen in an instance like this. I suppose we should use this moment to quantify what this game actually means, Alex, where it goes. None of these teams are going to be eliminated per se, but the winner of this best of 3 will be straight to the semi-final. Loser will be going to the quarterfinals. So everyone's a winner, really. But yes, you know what I mean? Like somebody there's actually an argument to be made that going straight to the semi can be a disadvantage. You don't actually get to play and get warmed up on the stage, but obviously no one's ever going to try and lose the game, you know what I mean? But Device, my goodness, he certainly is, and he's pushing through the smoke and actually bayonets Stewie 2K. It's going to be a 5-on-4 very quickly, down at 26 as Nitro tries to reclaim territory towards middle. He's actually pushed Dupree back here. Magisk is actually in the apartments as well. Good flashbang coming through. Molotov towards the pit, and they're committing to this. Oh, Magisk with just the SMG nearly finds 2. 3 remaining for Liquid into the site. They're traveling as a pack, but that enables some good fragging from the 2 of them. Naf and Elige in. Naf with an AWP for this post plant, though. It's not going to be ideal. Admittedly, neither is the setup for Astralis. It's a low health AWP. And Zipex with just a 5-7. Well then. Very difficult procedure here. They're going to boost Device behind that smoke. See whether he can spot anything at all. It's not a bad idea, but they need to operate very quickly if they have any chance of winning the round. They have no kit. They have a smoke. Might just be better off saving the AWP at this stage. Flashbang coming through. Naf will take a peek off that, presumably. And now the time running very thin indeed. It's Elige to find the first, the most valuable one of the 2 kills. That's the AWP going down. Decent shot with the 5-7 here, but it will be Team Liquid winning. That was the force buy from Astralis. Good mid-round calls. Much more assertive from Liquid there after spotting Device and taking a bullet from him at the very start of the round. They know the money's low on Astralis. If the AWP's outside of the map, it can't be anywhere else. They rotate straight away back towards middle, out the apartments once again, and they're really starting to pick up the pace at this point, working more as a fragging unit instead of running these defaults, which aren't really yielding much fruit at all.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but that round started with a Astralis frag,
it
right?
Did.
I mean,
Device with the AWP.
Overcoming that adversity. Now they've broken Astralis. Time for those string of T rounds I was talking about to manifest. 2 so far for Liquid back to back, and now this one looking like the 3rd. An easy frag for Elige to collect. Glaive just playing for some information on that corner. There's not much he can do with just a USP, but at least he does enable the rotate to come in early. Device, Magisk, going to put what little resources they have towards the B site. Ooh, through the wall, Magisk. An AK bullet doesn't quite take him down, but this one is more of a question of who's going to be getting the kills as opposed to which team will be winning the round. Just going towards A, and the rotate worked out perfectly for Liquid. They've pulled the CTs away, and so safe and sound, no combat needed, no sweat on the brow. 6-5, and I mean, it's the Astralis CT sides that have been overwhelming, like historically, these Team Liquid. They had a couple of best of ones, only a few best of threes. In fact, Dallas and Cologne, the 2 best of threes we've seen between these teams this year. This is going to be another opportunity to see this matchup head to head. And yes, whilst I agree, the point you were bringing up before that everyone's a winner in a sense with this playoffs state of affairs. I do think that this win would do so much for Team Liquid in the grand scheme.
Just knowing they can take Astralis in a best of 3.
It's endurance, isn't it? I mean, we saw them kind of, and that does too. The 3rd game of ECS Season 8, that the grand finals there, you saw them almost run out of steam. Like they came into that second half, and I was talking to Twist in the bus. He said, "Yeah, we just said let's just hit long. Like we have to laugh about this."
They started, unraveling at that point, and which is so weird because they're such a strong Dust 2 team usually as well. But Astralis, they've got mental fortitude. They used to be crumblers back in the day. If you remember, they've worked so hard on the mental side of the game, and it's really showing at this point as well. Even after having a bit of a slump in the mid periods of the year, they know how to get back on top. They know how to revitalize themselves and actually reinvent their game in general. So there it is, 6-5 Liquid on the T side here, doing a fantastic job after a very turbulent start as well. They won the Pistols, second round went against them. They were down 4-2, but they've brought it right back now. 6-5 on the T side, no AWP Device, and once again, combative towards B. It's going to be Elige this time. Dancing on the edge of the flames, where 2 players swinging out. Lovely work there from Astralis. Are they going to find both the frags? They are, but it cost them 1. 4 versus 3. Zipex will have a bit of backup there from Dupree at this stage as the bomb's still at T steps. Liquid will have to go back to the drawing board.
Is it safe to assume that Molotov is by design, that Elige can peek behind it? Because he was so confidently willing to, like, you could see what I mean. He was hoping perhaps to use the additional cadence. What's the word? Is it cadence?
Incandescence.
Incandescence. I heard you use it before. I was really impressed. I just had to go.
The
incandescence of the flame. Cadence. I mean, I use cadence when I talk.
Exactly.
Yeah. Pentameter, lots of different strategies.
Techniques. At this point, though, some very impressive techniques will have to be deployed from Team Liquid, Alex.
That's for sure.
Nafly on the AWP, as we mentioned, using that weapon more and more in the last couple of months. They do have 45 seconds in terms of general control. Bombs towards top and middle. Nitro there at quad as well. Decent grenade from Device. Significant damage inflicted. Smokes are down, but may just only half flash, but will it matter? Nitro leaps him towards the bomb side there. Device battling from the pit. The smoke actually guarding him for now as he looks to get the second kill. Not going to happen. Down to a 2-on-2. Liquid have made this round a reality now.
We've seen similar circumstances this time. Astralis much more equipped for the retake. Health and rifles. Both of them establishing a crossfire. That nade doesn't look bad. Could land on Naf, and not too much to write home about. But Zipex going in close quarters, finds the first, and ready for the second, plucks the first. Now, looks to hit the second, not far off. He only had 1 shot and 1 opportunity to hit that one. And the defuse will come in, so Astralis will level the odds 6-6, but I'm loving how close this is already. This is just a taste of what is to come. If you're a fan of Counter-Strike, then you will enjoy watching these 2 teams lock horns over, hopefully, a full 3 games. We talk about endurance. That would be the answer to it. Like, can Liquid, I think it would be the juiciest victory for them if they could do it over the course of a long, tumultuous best of 3. long, laboured, and we'll see. Of course, it only has just begun here on Inferno. This is the Molotov I was talking about. It is a Team Liquid molly, and it felt like Elige was anticipating that extra bit of space in order to take those fights early.
Yeah, Liquid definitely have what it takes to get a map of Astralis, a convincing map of that, but it seems that they can't do it over 3. I feel like a 2-0 has to be the way they close this one out if they can do it. But for now, we are playing Inferno. It's the pick of Liquid, and so far so good. They go into this round of an advantage once again. Glaive with the UMP Mages, MP9 once more. They really are struggling financially in the last few rounds. Device back on the AWP, but hardly been a showstopper so far as they change up positions here. More dynamic setup. Device, he's been towards B, he's been towards middle, now in the apartments. Trying to change things up, find those opening picks, and Twist will go towards apartments every single round almost. So he knows there's a chance he can open things up and take down a key scalp.
There are 8 players all leaning towards this A side of the map, and now it's time for the frags to come in, favouring Astralis heavily. Naf trying to pull something back, and he does manage. Just the one-man deficit now for the 2 remaining North American players. Naf, Stewie, going to apply some pressure towards Glaive, but he does just get the info, gets the nade damage, and is ready and willing to take this fight. Waiting for the rotate to come in from Zipex, and the smoke arrives just... Actually, no, wait, Stewie's ahead of it, and he dives into the other one. The smoke criminal strikes. Zipex gone. Glaive, however, still on the site, and he's done it all. USP straight through the smoke. I thought he had a shot there. I thought that was a Stewie 1 versus 1 if he catches Glaive, but not to be in Astralis. That's 2 now back-to-back.
A Stewie special deployed, but unable to stick the landing, it seems. It will be Astralis pulling one back. It was a scrappy finish there, but getting to the bookend now of the first half. It's going to be round number 14. Should be enough finances overall. We'll have a look at Team Liquid's bank account. Actually not looking as healthy as they thought. There was a buy there, but instead they've opted for Deagle, armor in Elige's case, and a few basic grenades. We do have a couple of flashbangs here, an aggressive play from Astralis. Not sure this is the round you want to present that when you know you've broken the money. This could actually fall apart, but looks good for now. After hearing the Deagles as well, they'll want to get the hell out of this position, but continuing to find kills here. It's Mages battling 2 for nail towards second middle at this point. That's going to be 3 kills to his name. Crisis averted. Just Naf remaining, not for long.
Yeah, he was so ready for that one as well. Just a shooting gallery for Magis to bring home a bit of a lead to close out the CT side of Astralis. And let's not forget, this was Liquid's map pick, choosing to bring it to Inferno and looking to keep the odds as in favour as they possibly could. Liquid in pursuit of their final round here of the half. Let's just see how quickly this one melted. As soon as Dupree shows eyes on the second middle, Magisk is there to deal with the swing.
Now, the reason I say you don't necessarily want to bring this sort of round out against Deagle is because it's a bit of a coin flip, right? Certainly. It's supposed to be a curveball. You're supposed to throw it in to change the pace up. If it goes wrong and you give these Deagles rifles, the round can just fall apart. But luckily for Astralis, no harm, no foul. It all works out. Mages with a 4K, and we go into the final round of the first half here. Full buy on either side. Now for the AWP, but not much HP. Down to 41, and he's actually a banana as well. He needs to be very careful for further grenades to come through. Stewie to flash him in towards position, and we'll see whether they can actually gain control here. Glaive and Zipex not playing the sandbags this time, but they've been there so much. You can see they're going to have to flush that out. They have to flash it. They need to make sure that everything's clear. As Stewie 2K confirms things.
They had to use so much. Not only that, like the flashes from Stewie,
that's what it's all
the
about.
mollies, the smoke, just to extinguish it.
Half of Pro CS is just suggestion. That's why we always talk about the nuke outside smoke, for example. He throws every single round. You're suggesting someone could be there. Even if you send no one down there, the fact they have no idea, you need to keep the idea that it'll still be a possibility it could come through. Yeah,
an example that was, applicable in my competitive career, different game, I admit, but it was the fear of the nade. We talked about it a lot. You throw a stop nade like 3 or 4 times, and then the rest of the half, you're safe. You know he's not going to try it.
Exactly that. And then you can hold on to your utility. When you don't deploy it, they have to use theirs, and then you get an advantage in that manner. So back towards a B execution here to close things out for Liquid. They've got 2 smokes, 1 Molotov. It's barely an execution. It's the better bones, really. They're going to smoke coffin, spawn, Molotov first, oranges presumably flash over, and it looks so telegraphed as well. We've got 3 Astralis players ready and waiting as we go through.
They didn't account for a missed device shot, but it doesn't seem to matter. Glaive is having no issues. 3 frags in quick succession. With 20 seconds left, Device won't make the same mistake twice. 9-6 on the half. Astralis, they do manage to end it with 4 back-to-back-to-back-to-back. And we'll be right back after this.
Chasing the night, chasing the night. Hotel rooms and city squares, champagne bottles, drum and snare. The sights and cities seem to fall away when you stay. Locked in love for a night or 2, losing sleep just to get off you. Day to day you wanna stay out, you're chasing the night. my kind and it won't let go. No thoughts left in my head. My mind's not mine and it won't forget. But you bring me back from my darkness black. Cause the soul in me and the heart I have for you. It bleeds for you, it beats again. Oh, you bring me to life. 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 Bring me to Oh, you bring me to life. Now you bring me back to life. Bring me to life. No. I stopped on my side, tried to run on a faulty line. I'm safe, only, even though we burn from the light I bleed. But she bring me back, not a heart attack could take away all the love I had for you. It bleeds for you, it bleeds again. Oh, you bring me to life. 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 Oh, you bring me to
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back in business. It's the 10th season of the ESL Pro League, and Liquid and Astralis both clashing in pursuit of a semi-final trip. They get the bye in the quarterfinals, both performing well in the upper bracket, but we get to see this historic matchup. Astralis meeting Liquid. I say we, I'm Machine. I'm joined by Henry G. Oh,
hello there.
Yes.
How is it going? We are here with the most anticipated matchup in CSGO right now. In my heart, Alex, these are the two best teams going at it. This is my two favorites to watch. I feel like there's so much firepower, raw chemistry, strategy. It all looks so good.
Story. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's so interesting to see. I feel like Liquid are going through some of the same ebb and flow that Astralis struggled with.
Remember, both of these teams have got an Intel Grand Slam under their belt, you know, and still, we don't get to see them play all that often, but here we go again, the aggression down towards second middle. It's Liquid bringing the firepower and the headshots as Device cowering in the corner here. The bomb's down. They're still bringing the pain towards his position. Dupree's there as well. They have been painted into a corner here. Nothing can be done. It's a very aggressive approach from Liquid there. We're seeing a lot of that these days, and before we can even get going in the round, it's done. Liquid will pick up a very valuable pistol round and bring it to 9-7 here, and we have seen a lot of force buys so far, and that trend continues. Majors confirms it straight away before we even get to 1 second of freeze time. He's gone CZ armor. No bomb plant down.
No blinking.
Just straight into it. Now fly. That's wonderful stuff from him. You could see so much confusion. They had no idea they're being attacked from.
I've seen this a little bit, actually. Their CT pistols on Inferno. They previously went for like that 3-man apps peek down second middle. It's a Liquid strat. It works. Into the second round force, though, and we are going to be seeing the initial exchanges of utility. Astralis going to be respectful of that, and a close second molly. I'm not sure if that was intentional. It certainly does clear that close wall, which Stewie no longer has to be fearful of. And actually, he wants to bring the fight to them. He finds the first ball. Flash doesn't matter too. And this should be the Liquid round confirmed. Looking to retreat now is Naf. Doesn't want to get full foul before the backup arrives. Nitro's on the rotate, Elige on the flank. And they're getting locked in here. This is going to hurt a lot for the remaining Danes. Just Glaive and Device.
Yeah, at this point, just trying to find a few consolation frag. That's going to be about it. Device and Glaive, they found an MP9. And it's going to be Device to drop first, at least getting some money. Glaive finds $600 there with the MP9. It's going to be a 3 versus 1. Bomb's already down towards B, but that's not a bad effort at all. He does take a dink in the process, but still, he'll find Nitro. Still very little chance he goes much further than this, but a good effort nonetheless.
And another bit of damage inflicted. Glaive, he's making this MP9 look so damn good. Many players and analysts describe it as being the best weapon pound for pound, which is such a perfect way to describe it. Pun absolutely not part of it, but still, for the price tag, it is so deadly. Flusher bought it for 15 rounds straight last week.
On Vertigo,
on
right?
Vertigo, yeah. So just
playing the B bomb site, no problem.
Players clearly have got an opinion for it. I like the setup from Liquid, just to completely ensure survival. No funny business. He's not going to get you both stacked up on that wall. And so Astralis, their second round investment does not land, and they'll be forced to go and swallow an eco.
Yeah, absolutely true. You don't really necessarily see too many force buys on the T side in the second round. All teams opt for the third round and get the AKs and Galils out with utility as well these days with those Galil changes. But overall, another aggressive play here from Liquid. MP9s and rifles down the mouth of the banana area, and we are going to see a very convincing finish there. The two-player stack at the half wall. Good grenade at the start. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage towards Glaive, though. Bomb still down at T-steps as they'll have Desert Eagles and not much else. They've got a couple of flashbangs to go with it as they're smoked off here. And you can see this is exactly what we were talking about before. When you know you're up against pistols, you're guaranteed they're on an eco of sorts. You don't want to be aggressive that round. You don't want to even risk the fact they've got to trade and pick up a rifle, especially when they're up against the likes of Astralis.
Yeah, that's for sure. What do they have to return to the banana? Just a single flashbang, some of those deagles. Stewie's playing it safe. He'll just be looking for the info. Whether someone jumps on the logs, you'll get a glimpse of them.
Like in an ideal world, the coach can communicate at all times and even call when the economy's low, right?
That would be really helpful.
That would be great.
Yeah, definitely.
That's just not a reality we live in.
Used to be the case, but coaches obviously clearly limited to 4 30-second timeouts in order to communicate with their team. Hard to keep track of the economy at all times, though. During the chaos. Oh, timing favors Nitro. Dupree didn't quite catch that opportunity. There was one, albeit very short-lived. And so with that frag conceded, Astralis, they hit walk hard and will start to return towards the B site. Looks like Liquid are too wise to this, as Elige is doing something very similar on the other side of the map.
Remember, just 2 flashes here. Elige, he is very aware by the looks of things here. Flash does go over, but they are thrown back in due course as well. And it's going to be a difficult limping towards the B side here. Stewie 2K with the perfect position to find a couple of kills here. That's exactly what he does. Should be pretty clean in the end. It's going to be 5 players surviving on the North American side there. Astralis will have to go into the rifles this round. We tied things up at 9-9. Anyone's game still, but you would give an edge towards Liquid considering it's they're picked on the CT side right now and the strong start they've had. They've got a nice financial base and they'll have around 3,000 residual cash after that round. So there's the replay of Stewie 2K behind the fountain. Very strong position for this sort of mechanic. You can see they have to fully commit to the peak before they can even challenge you behind that statue position.
Looks very comfortable. Don't know what statues you've been seeing, but that's...
Statue fountain, you know what I mean? The pillar,
It's
whatever.
more of a bird bath, I reckon.
Bird bath, okay.
Yeah.
Behind the bird... Let me rephrase that. You can see what Stewie 2K was doing there behind the bird bath.
Thank you so much. God, it's got nice to have some clarity in the cast for once.
I know.
Birds bathing, B site held. There's 2 players there responsible for it. Elige impressing in the server, but also impressed me today, Henry. He was practicing his English accent. He was watching a Peaky Blinders accent tutorial before his game today.
Not the most useful accent to bring forward.
I tell you now, is Thomas Shelby needs some work.
Mr. Shelby.
Oh, no, I shouldn't have told you.
Get in there.
Henry wants to show off, everyone. Strap in. Still, they're going to go for the full B execute, and this is something Astralis really were the forefront and the front runners of. Will this be just smoke and mirrors, though? Good nades. Naf, he's been chunked down to 20. Are they committing to this? It looks like they've pulled all of Liquid over. Just 1 man left, and he's already towards Library. And here comes a second pump. Now starting to commit. 50 seconds. Liquid have already got the resources here, though, Henry.
They've got players there, but it's Astralis have already broken through here. No real damage received until the HE is deployed. There's a spray coming in from Elige and Stewie 2K at once. The bomb goes down in a horrible position. Naf and Stewie are low, sure, but how does Mages even get the bomb back here? He'll have to jump through the smoke. He didn't realize he'd be spotted at that stage. It's going to be a 5 versus 2. Glaive and Device with no utility between them, but they have got headshots through smokes, it seems. 20 seconds remain. It was looking so good. So much manpower on the bomb side itself. And now Glaive in an impossible scenario. Luckily for him, Naf, Nitro, Stewie are low, but I don't think that bomb's going down.
I love that moment adjustment from Stewie with that smoke. He saw the bomb, and instead of just throwing, I think he looked like he was just going to throw a default smoke. He threw it a little deeper to make that retrieval full gray screen. Yes. A lovely adjustment. And Team Liquid, patient, despite access to the site granted, and that's going to feel so good. Stewie, he's stretching his vocal cords, and he's stretching his legs in the server as well. 16 frags at the very tippy top.
Yeah, we said he's been struggling with individual form recently, so that's fantastic to see him actually stepping up there. He is actually going to be at the very tippity top right now. 16 and 15, just beneath him is Elige with 15 as well. And they were the tag team duo here. The spray through the Coppins, the HE grenade from CT Spawn as well, the incendiary landing. It all came in at once. Astralis thought they were safe.
Like if you were planting, you would have had a real nasty death.
Exactly.
You're going to get a nade to 50, and then as you try and strafe away, the flames would have finished you off. What a brutal combination of utility, and it continues to be thrown towards Banana, but Device is ahead of the pack. He could catch Stu here, especially with a flash. Great catch. Can they profit from it? Smoke towards CT, and he doesn't actually get caught by Naf on the repeat. Now, Astralis have some degree of an advantage that they can try and twist the knife on, but suppressing fire rotates in. Liquid do seem to be handling this well.
Well, it will be Astralis committing towards the B side of the map. It looks things. Dupree is there with the bomb, but he was held off by the flames momentarily. Naf and Nitro both on the ruin side at this point as Elige will rotate back from middle. Zipex still towards Boiler. Keep that in mind. So they might just delay things here for him to actually maybe backstab a little bit, see what he can do, ruffle some feathers as Elige doubting his rotation now. Back towards Arch. Still 50 seconds. Dupree, he's in towards our well position with the bomb, bear in mind. Naf seems to be aware of it, so doesn't want to overcommit to this one. Nitro watching towards CT Spawn. This is a compromise round from Liquid.
Yeah, he's flirting with the idea of getting that info, and as soon as he confirms it, as soon as he continues this walk, Astralis, they're going to run out of options. There's a single smoke, the rifle, of course, on Glaive. He's the only one without armor, though. That's an interesting tidbit. He hasn't been able to pass that off to someone who can avoid that aim punch, and Dupree caught. Naf likely, if he gets the first bullet, he doesn't know, and Glaive will find the frag with that Krieg. Making a lot of sense and a lot of progress. The bomb's still not down, though. Device changes things, and Elige's flank will not pay dividends. Zipex, another rifle for him, and Glaive keeps hunting. These guys are insatiable.
What a perfectly played round there from Astralis. Just the fact they were so patient with it in general. They were sat there. A lot of teams would just be tempted just to have a look around the bomb site, see what could be done. They waited in position for the CT mistakes to come through. An opportunity arose and they managed to pounce upon it. It's going to be Twist now, giving his position up. Doesn't look like he's going for this one. He'll have to fall back. 2 versus 1 not going to work out, and the bomb is too far gone. Back towards Library. Zipex on the hunt as well. He's actually going to be heading towards the apartments, trying to cut him off towards that pit position. You can see the knife is out, but Twist, he'll be holding towards the Library there. That's a bit of a masterclass from Astralis. Really had to think about one.
I almost want to kind of, because I wasn't paying attention to Device's run up Banana. Like, was this one of the few rounds where Liquid didn't throw the fast close molly?
You can get through it. Like, if you have the best possible spawn, the CTs don't have the best themselves. You can actually sneak up behind them. They certainly weren't ready. But Chad, maybe you've got something for us on the other side. What are you going to break down for us, Birchall?
This is something to look out for, guys. This is from the Renegades versus Astralis game earlier in the tournament. This is a fast Astralis mid-take when they have low nades versus low utility on the other side. Check out this fast mid-smoke. All these flashes, they get up mid very, very quickly. Maybe something they'll be busting out here as we go up against Liquid in the later stages of this game. Let's go back to you guys in the cast.
Well, there we have it. A very fast approach towards middle. We're seeing a lot of that these days. You can definitely just walk up towards middle on a contact play. We are seeing a lot of teams as well actually go for the faster approach. Fnatic historically famously do that when they're on low buys as well. And it can be very effective, especially when there's AWP on the other side. A couple of flashes, swing around with MAC-10s and CZs. It can be very deadly. Yeah,
and I mean, I will remind you that not only was the great catch from Device, but Zipex stopping the Elige flank. They would have really struggled if had Elige been able to pick up some momentum on that late arrival from Banana. So a huge round for Astralis. They secure it with very little money, very little funds, and it now keeps things level 10-10. And what is that from Stewie? We've seen a couple of those. At least once, a CT side of Inferno.
He was doing that in Dallas as well, right? The fact once he feels like he's in the zone and he wants to go for a push, he'll swing up Banana by himself with a flashbang from his teammate, but more often than not, that's the result, right? It seems like he'll just go down, running through flames there as well. He took about 60 damage to the flames, and at that point, he was already committed. He had to keep going, and they were ready for him.
I mean, yeah, there is always that risk-reward conversation, and certainly a calculation that this time just went a little skew with. But, I mean, Astralis, they don't have to work very hard to get this man advantage in. A crucial round I will address. Let's just look at the peanuts that Liquid are working with in the bank account.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. It leaves Naf alone, but he has got the AWP. But Molotov out of position. I'll have to take a more defensive line at this stage. Astralis Still with 45 seconds. 2 players at the end of the apartments. Device recovers the bomb from second middle. Smoke's about to be deployed. This will be the flash attack with 3 players coming out of the apartments by the look of things. Twist and Nitro to defend. Twist actually in a very good position to do so. The dribble smoke will come out. That denies his vision, but the incendiary is spot on.
That's lovely. Twist is even standing his ground. You know, he's sent a message, a very loud one, to Astralis that he's holding back, and he continues to stand there. Glaive and his teammates will start to clear it out. Nitro connects the first. Zipix just straight grey screens. Still gets the shot. Nitro, close quarters AWPing. He's already found 2. A chance for a second, a tag as well. And he gets it through the wall! Device shut down. Nitro's doing it all. And now all onto Dupree with 7 seconds, 3 HP. That's all it needed to be. And Liege, great finish. But Nitro, you rascal.
That was pretty unbelievable. Well read there, especially from Twist. He was the catalyst to success there. He could sense the execution coming towards the apartments. As smoke comes through, he drops that crucial incendiary, and it completely slows down everything there. Astralis already committed. There's no time remaining. They have to wait for the incendiary to go down. Nitro can reposition, and look at the shots he hits there. The first one's pretty standard, but he nails this one in towards the pit. He then hits a third. Doesn't quite get the kill on this player here, but when the wallbang comes in after this, this is the special one. You're not going to see it. That's what I'm going to tell you.
You won't see the special one, but I'll tell you now, it was special.
It was a hell of a shot.
Using that penetration. Yeah, I mean, you know what? That would have been a glorious 4, and the fact that Liege did get thrown into that 1v1, albeit briefly, it was, thankfully, the target that brought down to 3 HP, courtesy of Nitro's AWP bullet. Into round 22, first map of this best of 3. Liquid's map pick. As the birds sing, Astralis progress up towards Banana. It's so interesting. Not a single nade has been thrown. The contrast between the standard and this one is evident. They're holding on to their util. They're giving Astralis all of this room for free, and there's a reason for it.
Stewie 2K, incendiary in hand. Up against this force by 3 rifles, 2 pistols here. Nice smoke as well. We get that down in 50 seconds. You know they have to reconsider their options here. And Liege, he actually pushes through the middle smoke there. They had their grenades out. He had the pins pulled, and in he goes. This is the Krieg to the face, 5 on 3. And the other remaining players here, they're stuck outside the B bomb site. Remember that smoke's still up. Device ready and waiting behind it. They still have incendiaries as well. Stewie can drop that like the 28-second mark, and they're pretty much done for. Down it goes. And what do you do at this point? They've got 2 smokes remaining, make it 3, a couple of flashes, but at this point, it looks like they've got a clear read on the situation. Nice shot from Device. They're going back to throw utility as well. That's towards new boxes. There is a player there. That's going to be Naf.
What is his reaction? He's going to take the fight. Magis finds him. Astralis with 14 seconds left. They've got a chance to change it. Is a Liege? It's all a Liege. Started with a spectacular timing on 2 and an ace to finish things off. Cleans up on B. An absolutely ridiculous play from a player that Thorin wrote 3,000 words about just last week.
That was really, really well played from Liege. The fact he starts things off, getting his 2 kills towards middle, confirms nothing else is there. Boiler was clear. Middle, it felt like he killed absolutely everyone in this position. He rotates back over towards B. It was a nice finish from Astralis. The fact they got that kill towards Naf by virtue of the Molotov towards new boxes. It was a nice approach there. The smoke towards coffins, but Liege 1 step ahead of the curve as usual. Manages to get all 5 players, take his total up to 22 frags, and that forces out a pause here from Astralis as they go down 12-10 now. Money really not in a good spot. They do have maximum loss bonus, so that's $3,400 coming through, but the bomb didn't get planted in the previous round, so not really enough to bring out a full buy. Dupree had about $5,000, so he's going to go for an AK-47 and armor, no utility. He'll still be able to buy next round. He leaves himself about $1,000, so still going to be able to get the same going forward, but it gives him a bit more bite going into round number 23.
Certainly. That single rifle, and Dupree, he has been really continuing to maintain this hunger in his aggression with these rifles. I know that sounds like just complete fluff, but watch him play. You'll see what I'm talking about. Nice smoke from Glaive. That's going to force Nitro to reposition. Smoke towards Arch as well, so that gives Astralis a lot of room, and look how much the CTs are respecting. In fact, they've pulled all of the CTs off of B, and they're just going straight in. They've got a great play to at least get the access to the site. That's Dupree, though, with the rifle. That's Dupree, though, with the bomb, and Stewie has solved all of their problems. Despite gobbling up the fake, eating it for breakfast, it's not going to be too much to sweat about. Admittedly, it's a bomb plant, and the rifle is still in play, and Device holding the line does eliminate Nitro. A way in, perhaps. Looking for a 2 versus 5. It would be a ridiculous shot required, and Device hits it. One flick, one body drop, Stewie down, another one on the chopping block. It will be Naf, and finally solving the problem, as will Twist. He's on the defuse, and we will see 13 on the board for Liquid.
Decent effort there from Device. I respect it. Zipex, he will save the AWP, and he's got $7,000 in his back pocket as well. So not the worst outcome considering they had 4 pistols and 1 rifle. It did come down to a bit of an uncomfortable scenario there with Device getting a couple of headshots, but still well held by Liquid. One step closer to picking this map up. 13 to 10 here. As you can see, Stewie, pretty compromised position. One smoke down there in that spot, he would have been done for, but going for a dry peek there towards CT spawn, he does come out on top as we get into another gun round here. Device, remember, picked up the AWP by Zipex in the previous round, so bring that to the T side here, but I like this from Liquid. Just as they stabilize financially, you're going to get aggressive on them. Going to push down and find Dupree, who did get one towards the top of middle somehow. I don't know how that works.
Still getting one, and Elige actually using that as an avenue to perhaps throw a spanner in the works a second time. He's actually going to disappear straight down towards second middle. Zipex is pre-aiming it. What a play. Immediately shutting down that mid-aggression despite Elige trying to disappear into the smoke. Admittedly, though, Liquid are going to put all of their eggs into one basket for this moment in time. Stewie realizing that that is not necessarily viable.
So the push down middle has left them in a 4 versus 3. We talked about reactive play in CS, but this is one of those rounds you get to just make a decision and stick with it. They got a crossfire towards A. That'll be between Nitro and Naf. Stewie, he's used to anchoring B by himself, but this time just drops the smoke towards B, and he's going to fall back towards A. This is what we call a gamble stack. The money's not great on the Liquid side. It's a round they're probably not going to win, so they'd rather just group up together. If they fully commit towards A, they've got 3 CTs there. They'll fight valiantly for it. But if they go B, they'll let the round slip by. They won't retake this. And luckily for Liquid, they are going to finish up towards A. It's the apartments once again.
So Nitro already falls. It falls to Naf, and it's only going to be the one. Stewie thrown into a 1 versus 3. There's so much time. There's so many players. And so much bloodshed. Good shot from Device to finish it, and that will be the 11th now on the board for the Danes. They are keeping this as close as everyone would have hoped.
That's such a massive round to pick up as well. I actually really like the call from Liquid there. You've had them on the ropes. You've had a really dominant second half here. They've barely got a couple of rounds. Their money was broken. And just when they stabilize, you go for that aggressive play. But it was a weird start there. Yeah. It looked like they had the perfect position, but Dupree somehow steals a kill away from the underpass position. He got twists and actually brought it down to a 4-on-4. And we've always said, Alex, that favors the terrorist side. So although I think Liquid outplayed them, just unfortunate that first kill came in. A split second later could have been a very different story.
And Elige was almost pre-aiming it as well. So
he was so ready.
That's how quick Dupree must have been onto Twist. We didn't quite get to catch it. So round 25, and this should be closing the gap even further.
They are parking the bus in B.
The bus is parked.
3 players stacked. The USPs, you know what, more often than not, this gets a kill, but Elige.
I don't think Dupree's There it is. There it is, connecting, and well, the rest should just be a collection. Instead, it'll be Liquid, potentially capable of collecting a couple of rifles. Yes, Stewie gets one. Bomb going to be going down on A during all of this chaos. Glaive realizing he's just going to be entertaining the children. He's at the creche. He's got all of the...
Creche, is that a British expression?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Kindergarten for those...
Kindergarten.
For those playing at home. I haven't heard anyone say that word since I was a child.
Since you went to a creche.
Yeah, which is about 40 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Henry. You don't have to lie. It's the internet. 45.
45 is Nitro with just the Krieg, beg your pardon, as the eco stack. I guess it works out in some ways. They get a couple of kills out of it. They've got a rifle they can potentially save at this stage, and it will be another round on the board for Astralis, however. So a nice idea. Astralis certainly have been up to those sort of antics in their history as well. We've seen lots of interesting stacks, some maps like Overpass, some infamous ones there where they stacked the B-bombs. So never really worked out, but always cool ideas to see. As we get into the next round now, Liquid, they do save that Krieg. That goes in the hands of Elige. No better man for that weapon. Nitro on the AWP this time. As we mentioned, I haven't seen him use the weapon as much this tournament and the last at ECS.
Yeah, I mean, there's a flexibility that I think is fast becoming an attribute, actually, of Team Liquid.
Like, it definitely is in the modern game, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, historically, though, like Counter-Strike, you had a rigid sniper, right? You're like, this guy's a sniper. That's why I prefer it, because you have a consistent game plan without changing things up, and you can actually develop. But totally get it. If people are feeling on the day or having a rough game in the rifles, being able to change things up and have a dynamic aspect, that's a great asset to have.
We've seen it, and admittedly just from the eye test, but when Stewie's having a bad game, throw the AWP on him. Not today, though. No need for him to have the zoom banger, catching Magisk with his bullets and flames combined. Now he'll be set up to hold B, likely in a bit more of a passive setup.
It's promising to see him so confident to take that challenge after failing a couple of times there at the top. This time, Manages to get the 5-on-4. They'll go into a boost towards CD Spawn, but the reaction coming through. Contact play from Glaive, but you can see Nav. He's very ready for it. What an angle that is as well. Can't really pre-fire his head, but he gets the kneecaps, takes Nav down to 23. They still got a boosted player there as well. They haven't spotted him. Stewie2K can clean up here.
Oh, and he does. Takes Device down. Liquid, they've really done their homework. The contact from Astralis, it's so profitable so often. Actually, through the smoke, another connection. Zipex, he's been tagged down to single digits. One. As dupreeh will advance through the smoke, he realizes he has to be the hero of this round. Bomb ticking. Kit present, but only on twist. This could become part and parcel of this round. Zipex is tucked in to try and stop it, but he's not playing to stop the defuse. You can see tucked in on Banana.
This is such a massive round, Alex. If Liquid give this one up in a 4 versus 2, their money will be broken. It'll tie things up, and it could cost them the map. Time ticking away at this point. They grouped up towards Ruin. The flashbang comes through. You mentioned dupreeh at the step up. Can he do it? It's a double headshot looking for the third. dupreeh is playing like a monster right now. That's going to be enough as Liquid took all the time in the world. It wasn't enough, though, and Astralis went out in the 4 versus 2.
Unbelievable. Zipex had 1 HP. He was just there to survive, and not only that, he started to throw some shots towards Coffins. That was Liquid's cue. They knew where 1, if not 2, was. But let's see it from dupreeh. He really did have to be the hero. 13 frags coming into this, and he ends with another 4 frags in that round. 16 in total. Nearly finding Nitro just to add the cherry on top. But the round 1 all the same, and look what that's done to Liquid. That could very well be the round that determines the victor here on Inferno. Everything pointing, like the way that started, it looked brilliant from Liquid.
That was everything. That round, as you just said, I think maybe decides the map here. Astralis now will have a massive advantage in round number 27. They have all the weapon you could possibly ask for. Nitro did save the AK-47, but that was a 4-on-2. But essentially a 4-on-1, considering his teammate had no HP.
And did nothing. dupreeh just lines them up one by one, knocks them all down. That was a fantastic bit of work from him, but I feel like Liquid weren't quite assertive enough. They just gone in together in a more brawly fashion, probably be more successful. Either way, it's going to be Glaive opening things up with a headshot. That's Stewie2K removed from the B bomb site. And the bomb, unfortunately, for Astralis is back at T-spawn, but they've got full control of the bomb site here. Shouldn't be a problem as dupreeh looking for the rotations. He'll be towards second middle right now. It's Alige with just that P250. So they're taking all the time they need. Major's alone with the bomb for now. Needs to be very careful. He doesn't give that up. But he has got dupreeh watching towards second middle, making sure no one can cross over. As dupreeh should get a guaranteed frag here, and there it is. Yeah, those two have been having such a fun little duel between the two of them. Admittedly, every time we've seen it, Alige's had only a pistol, but dupreeh consistent presence in apps despite that push towards B. So Glaive confirms it 14-13. Let's see if the inkling that incredible 2 versus 4 is enough to confirm Inferno going the way of Astralis. I remind you, this was Liquid's map pick, although this is a map that, of course, Astralis forged part of their destiny and dynasty upon. 18-0 at one point before Big Clan arrived online. A huge map for Team Liquid. They want to take this scalp. They've been looking in the veto to try and find solutions. Vertigo was an experiment they flirted with in Dallas. This time, Inferno's the pick. Round 28, a crucial one.
They're trying to crack the Astralis nut, aren't they? Any way they can. This is looking good for the Danes there, but it's a double orb setup and a lot of damage inflicted.
This is what Chad was talking about.
It is exactly what Chad was talking about. Flashbangs towards top and middle. A change of pace from the Danes here as Majors looks to crack things up towards the pit. Can't do it. Twisting with a double. It's Nitro now. Will have to be combative on the A side. AWP and flames all around him. He needs to buy some time, and he's doing just that. Finding the bodies as well. 3 versus 1, but dupreeh this time only with 12 points of health. Surely nothing can be done here.
Wow, they try and shift the pace. Outlined beautifully, of course, before we see it. And it unfolds this time, not in favor of Astralis. Back to the drawing board. dupreeh, you've already had your hero round. I'm not sure we're allowed to give you 2 in this simulation.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Alige and Stewie holding towards quad. They know they have every advantage they could possibly ask for here. Naf very passive towards the arch side as well. They're fine with him planting the bomb.
Yeah, that was my question.
Absolutely. You'd rather have him plant than one of you try and find out a bit of information. He gets a kill, then a 2v1 seems a lot scarier against dupreeh. Now they hear footsteps, they know he's committing, they're just encroaching on his position. When he plants, that's when you start running. You go in together, give him multiple targets, multiple angles. The orb's the worst weapon for the job, but it doesn't matter. The incendiary lands on him. So that's much more like it from Liquid. A decent round in response there as they'll tie things up at 14-14. These guys going the full distance here.
Jeez, this is going to go all the way. Oh, I'm even considering the idea of a potential overtime just to start off this series. But 14-14, Liquid, a crucial response. Still 4 timeouts remaining for Liquid. They haven't used a single one, if my eyes don't deceive me. Astralis, this will be their last. 30 seconds. Zonic on the microphone.
He'll have a few things to say, I'm sure, Alex. It's going to be right down to the wire here. Both teams going to be fully equipped as we enter round number 29. It's the double orb setup for Team Liquid. It looked like a bit of a lock-in for them this map until that 2 versus 4 arrived. That's when Astralis really got back on the board. It's going to be a very interesting finish here. You speculated that overtime could be a prospect. I certainly agree with you. As we get into this round, the money is actually relatively strong for Astralis. They can afford to give one up. Not the same story for Team Liquid, though. They're all hovering around $1,000 right now. It's a double orb setup, but a Krieg in the hands of a Leech could be enough. He has played so well this game. Do they have anything left in the tank? We talked about their mental fortitude against Astralis, but this is the first map. Looking to close it out. It's their pick, and we're back into the action now.
Utility's great, weapons great. The next round, should they concede, not so much. It's all hanging in the balance for Team Liquid here. Round 29, aggression up towards Banana. Good damage dealt to both teams as they're softened up. More to come. Stewie, he's going to be locked in, but he still brings the aggression. He gets the first and the second. Banana is his. A follow-up Molotov and a follow-up push does inflict good damage to Magis. Finished off through the wall by Naf. We highlighted just how important this was for Liquid, and just as the first 30 seconds of play transpire, there's only one man still going, and he's perspiring. Zipex. 3 on towards the A site. 1 versus 1 if he continued his advance up Banana. Yes, sure, the clutch minister, whatever you want to call him, but this one too tall of an order, I'd say.
I think you might be right. That's a new expression you're working on, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking, like, you know, he probably went for like a grande, and they gave him a venti. This order is too tall.
He's like, you know what? I need a taller.
Yeah.
I need that one to look a little bigger.
50 seconds for Zipex. He's even had the rotate come in. They know where he is. He's made no secret of that. And now flank coming in and getting locked into this hurt locker.
I feel like a plan would be enough at this point. We said their money would be enough to get them a buy into the next round with $800 each.
Maybe just for Magisk. Hook him up.
Yeah, that would be just to make sure they got absolutely everything to give us a really exciting final round here. 30 seconds remain. Zipex might want to buy this time at this stage. He's behind new boxes. They're not necessarily aware of that as he holds on, looking for any windows of opportunity here. Nitro's locked him in. He'll be towards a T-steps position. So a plan attempt here. Now, if you're an all player in the form of Naf, I guess you do want to go for this. It's a 4-on-1. You can sacrifice at least one there and deny that extra money, and it's successful. It's going to be Liquid on map point. 15-14, all the rounds here, of course, but still cash available for Astralis. You did say Magis might have to take a few compromises here. He'll be going down to a P250 by the looks of things for now, at least. Is anyone who can drop him?
I think Device had 6K, so there's probably going to be a rifle dropped.
There must be,
on the
right,
floor,
yes.
Yeah. But let's see this from Stewie. This was how he secured the round, and so quickly. Look at this, 1 minute 35 on the clock as the 2 bodies dropped for Astralis. Will it be overtime? It always feels like Astralis do have the endurance, but at Liquid, they can take this map with frags like that. Elige immediately beheads Magis. Great combination. Good flash from Nitro. Now they can fall away. That advantage is theirs, and they look to maintain it. Aggressive up short, twists. Oh, he's going to have so many flames. He has a smoke and can play around it. They know exactly where he is, but just surviving is powerful. 3 up short, but they look to back away. They didn't get the fight they wanted with Twists.
It didn't feel good enough for them. They knew as soon as they sit in that position for too long, they'll be flashed off, and that's when Twists will peak. They had to just get out of there as we get back into a B finish here. Now fight alone, it's the correct call here. He's got the AWP. They still have a couple of flashes and smoke, so we probably go for a contact play. Trying to bait out the shot at this point. The flashbang goes over. It's effective. That's their cue to go. Has put a little bit of time. Stewie 2K coming in from the coffins.
He has to go and find at least more than one here. Glaive tagged. That's something. Naf still hasn't got the AWP in play. Looking to finish off what Stewie started. He does. And another from Naf. Nasty ass Naf does it again in order to secure Inferno. Plant and a chance for Dupree. Bullets will be thrown through that smoke. He's still alive. Not for much longer. And Liquid, they've done it. At least the first map up against Astralis. They win their map pick, a full 30 rounds of play, but just across the line, despite some heroics from the Danes.
That's exactly what we wanted to see there, Alex. All the rounds